Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Rachel, and today's video, very exciting, long-awaited video. In today's vlog, I am going to be reading my most anticipated read of 2023, which is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Miss Carissa Broadbent. I'm very excited about today's video. This book, I have just been waiting, I feel like for so long to pick this up, and it's finally here. Honesty hour, I am filming this intro about 80% of the way into this book, which I don't like to do, but the original intro that I had for this vlog, it wouldn't make any sense because this vlog went off the rails. The original plan that I had for this vlog shouldn't happen. So let me give you guys a little story time really quick. I had set out to film just kind of like a general fantasy vlog. I was going to be reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and I was also going to be reading Jade Boar and the Well of Ascension. I started with The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, obviously, because she is the woman of the hour. I was very excited to pick this up. And number one, I have a ton to say about this book, as you will see soon here in a few minutes. And number two, I can feel the fantasy book hangover coming. It's already started, and I just don't see myself having the brain cells to pick up another fantasy book after I finish this one, particularly something written by Fonda Lee or Brandon Sanderson, two authors that I absolutely love, but those books definitely are going to require more time and energy and attention than I feel like I'm going to have now. You know, when you can just feel a book hangover coming, that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I want to give Jade Boar and Well of Ascension two books that are 5-star predictions, two books that I think I'm gonna love. I just want to give them more time and attention, and I feel like after this, I'm gonna need to pick up like a hockey romance or something like that. Like, I just am gonna need to take a little break from fantasy because this book has been doing a number on me in a way that I have very much enjoyed. But that is why I needed to refilm the intro, because in the intro I talked about those three books, and that would not make much sense now, would it? But I'm really excited that this vlog has just turned into The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King reading vlog. I have tons of things to say, and it was really fun to talk about this book. And I will say this is entirely spoiler-free for this book, so you're all good if you haven't read this. Even if you haven't read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I don't go super into detail, so you can proceed and have a great time. I think that is going to be it for this intro. I just wanted to say hello and kind of catch you guys up to speed with what is going on. I am gonna read The Well of Ascension and Jade Boar probably in the next few weeks. After I finish this, I just know that I'm gonna need to like reconsider my entire life. I don't even know, but that's gonna be it for me. I'm actually gonna go finish this book right now, but I'm gonna send you guys back to past me when I first started this. Hi, it's me. I am about to start this. We'll talk about that in a second, but I got some book mail and I was like, why don't I open that with the gang? I like to show you guys what I have purchased recently. So I'm gonna open these two packages and then I'll start The Ashes, but I just wanted to bring you guys along for this. So I just have two packages. Here's number one. So the first book that I got in the mail is Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. I have been seeing people just buzzing about this book, saying it's absolutely fantastic, and I think I'm gonna add it to my May TBR. It's been compared to Normal People, which like got the alarm bells going for me. I'm excited, and I just heard that it's not a romance, it's more just kind of a story about this, you know, maybe unhealthy relationship and mental health and things like that, and I really like stories like that. I find them to be interesting and generally really beautiful, the ones that I have read. When it's well done, I think it's really great. Oh, and it is set in London. Absolutely. Okay, I'm definitely gonna be reading this book in May and I'm excited for it. All right, and then we have this package, which I'm so excited to see this book in person. So it's in this little like cardboard sleeve. Oh boy, okay. Are you guys ready? New Brandon Sanderson, Tress of the Emerald Sea. And this is the special edition that if you ordered directly, I think directly from him, you got this edition. So this is different than like what's at Barnes & Noble. And there's some stickers, very cute. But oh my goodness. This is a work of art. Oh, there's illustrations inside. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know what this book is about, but I have just seen the Brandy Sandy girlies buzzing about it, and I consider myself a Brandy Sandy girly now. So I had to get it. I will pick up anything that this man writes at this point. So on the back it says, in the middle of the ocean, there was a girl who lived upon a rock. Ariel. This was not an ocean like the one you have imagined, nor was the rock like the one you have imagined. The girl, however, might be as you imagined, assuming you imagined her as thoughtful, soft-spoken, and overly fond of collecting cups. I feel like that didn't give me any more information either, but you know what? It sounds whimsical and kind of strange, and I'm here for that. So I'm gonna cut it open. I have to be so careful. This is gorgeous. Look at that, the foiling. Oh my God, I just saw some of the art. Okay, here's the end pages. Are you seeing this? What is this? Cute. And I like the art is kind of in different styles. Is looking at this art gonna spoil me? I mean, I don't even know what this book is about, but oh my God. I might also have to add this to the May TBR because this is gorgeous. I need to read this. I feel like this is like, it's giving me kind of fairy tale vibes, honestly. All right, so it's time to start. The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I don't know why I'm so nervous, I'm so dramatic, but I just want this to be amazing. I picked up my bookmark. I have Reese and Feyre to help me through. I haven't even read the first sentence of this book because I've been too scared. Let's do that together. I'll do that in the vlog. I'm not gonna say it out loud though, so don't worry, I'm not gonna ruin anything for you. Okay, there's the first page. And then the author's note, she puts the trigger warnings. I'm literally shaking. All right, and then we have just like the little map. Oh God, okay, here we go. Reading update, I read the first sentence, I'm terrified. All right, anyway, I'm going to actually sit down and read this book, get a good chunk of the way into it. It's long, it is like 600-ish pages, so yeah, it's gonna take me a while to get through this, but I wanna really take my time with this and just soak it all up. I'm gonna stop talking and I'll start this, so I will talk to you guys once I am a little bit into it. Hello, so I am here for my first official check-in for The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I am on page, let's see, 104, so barely just started, but I have been bursting essentially since like the first page of this book with thoughts and wanting to talk to you guys. So I'm here for my first impressions, first check-in. I am utterly obsessed with this book. So far, it feels better than The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I cannot even believe that I'm saying that. This author just blows me away because I feel like she outdoes herself with every single new release that she has. I feel like she one-ups herself. It's amazing. You know, we have the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, which is her first trilogy, and I really, really enjoyed it. But then when I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I was like, oh, I can definitely see the growth and the improvement in her writing and her plot structures and the way she writes characters and all of that. So I liked both of those, but I could see that improvement. And then I read Six Scorched Roses, which is the novella set in this world. And I was like, wow, this writing is fantastic. It's poetic and beautiful and lush and dark. And, you know, I feel so much from it. And now I'm reading this and I'm like, this is even an improvement on that. When I say improvement, I'm not saying that any of that was negative. I'm just blown away by how I feel like literally every single new book, it just continues to get better. I'm amazed. Truly, I'm amazed. This is so freaking good. The writing is so beautiful and visceral. I am feeling our characters' emotions so much. They are going through a lot. There's so many conflicting emotions and interactions and all of that that's going on that, oh my God, it's breaking my heart and then putting it back together and then breaking it again. I have no words. Like, honestly, I don't even know how to talk about this book. One of the things that I'm really enjoying, and I noticed this in The Serpent and the Wings of Night as well, but I just want to touch on it again. I think that Carissa Broadbent does a really good job at keeping the characters morally gray. I just really like morally gray characters in fantasy, and I feel like she keeps that going. I feel like a lot of times authors will start out with a morally gray love interest, but then they really don't end up being all that morally gray. But I feel like she keeps Araya and Rain in this kind of interesting in-between, which it makes the reading experience just so engaging, and I love that. I love Araya and Rain so much. I am feeling for Araya. She is going through kind of a tough time, having a ton of conflicting feelings, dealing with grief and anger, but she's also kind of numb to it all and is kind of like giving up. But then we see that fight and fire in her, and I really love her. I really like her as a main character. I think that she has been through so much. She is so strong, but I also think that we are getting an accurate depiction of what grief looks like and what that does to you and how that kind of takes away your desire to fight for anything. I'm really touched by that. And then Rain is just like the king of morally grayness. He is, you know, battling a lot of demons, and he definitely has a very horrid past. So I get that. I understand why he struggles with what he struggles with, and he's kind of trying to keep everything together. God, I'm just so like, I can't wait to see what she does with these two and where things go. Also, just like sidebar, Septimus. Am I supposed to hate him or are we supposed to like him? I can't really decide. Once again, morally gray. Carissa Broadbent does it very well. Maybe I'm like reading too much into it and like he's definitely bad and I just don't know yet, but I'm kind of like, is he like, does he have a redemption arc in his future? I don't know. I'm very interested in him, even if he is like the villain, and that'll be totally fine. I'm still curious about his character. I don't know if he's like this puppet master or what's going on with him, but I just find him super intriguing. But I don't know if I'm like supposed to hate him. Cause like, I guess I don't like him, but I am intrigued by him. It just feels so good that thus far this book is really, really living up to my expectations and exceeding them. Cause as I said, I just think that the writing is even better, which is amazing. So I'm struggling with, do I want to sit down and like power through this whole book in 1 or 2 sittings, or do I want to take my time? Like part of me just wants to read like 100 pages a day and call it good, but I'm also just dying to see how not only the plot develops, but Aureia and Rain's dynamic, because things are a little all over the place right now, which I think they'll continue to be, which I also really like. I love that push and pull, the enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers that I feel like this whole series kind of has. It's really interesting. So that is my first update for The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. Ugh, I can't believe I'm saying those words. It's so exciting. Like, I can't believe I'm reading this book. I know that that sounds so weird, but I feel like that's how I'm gonna feel when I'm reading House of Flame and Shadow in January. Like, I can't believe that like this is finally here. I'm finally reading this. This is a book that I've thought about so much and it's finally in my hands. And so far it's going very well. So that is the update for now. Today's Sunday, so I'm obviously not working and got, you know, the day free pretty much. I'm probably gonna edit this clip. I think I am gonna read more. I have to keep going. And I also might go to the gym. So I think that that will be the plan for the rest of the day. I'll probably check in with you guys tomorrow. I'll let you know how it's going, but I'm just like speechless and overwhelmed. I'm literally so overwhelmed with how I feel about this book, which is an amazing, amazing feeling. I'm just so happy. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow with another update. Hello besties, how are we? Happy Wednesday. I am here to check in once again, of course, for The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I have made it to the 50% mark, so I'm about halfway. I went ahead and broke the spine of this book, so now she flops open very nicely. I have so many things to say, so many thoughts just bubbling over, honestly. Okay, let's get into it. So just some more kind of random spoiler-free musings. Number one, I feel like Carissa has done such a good job at expanding this world. We have learned so much more about the lore, the history, the, you know, kind of political powers at play, and I just feel like we have dove so much deeper into this world that she has created, and I really, really enjoyed every single second of that. I feel like I'm getting a history lesson, but in the best way. It's not super dense, it's not super crazy. I feel like she's doing a really, really good job of keeping the romance at the forefront, but also really enriching this world and just really transporting us, and it's really, really fantastic. I'm so excited to see how the plot progresses over the series, as we will be switching POVs of characters, but there is kind of gonna be one central plot line that weaves throughout all 6 books, and I just think that she's done a really good job from book 1 to book 2, giving us such a rich background. So I've really, really enjoyed that. Number 2, something that I already touched on, but I just have to say again, the push and pull between Aureia and Rain. It's palpable, honestly. I just love them. I really, really do. They are just perfect to me. And one of the things that Carissa is achieving so well with the romance component of this book, which is something that I really, really love, and I feel like it's not as well done in at least maybe books I've read lately, I don't know, but there is so much yearning in this book. When I say yearning, I mean like this desire for everything to go well and to be in love, but there are real, legitimate, painful things going on that are causing them for one reason or another to struggle with that. And I am loving it. She does such a good job of communicating the very conflicting romantic feelings that these people have for one another, and it's just so good. It's just, it makes the tension really great, but not only the tension, because that's definitely there and that's been there since book 1, but I think she's doing a really good job at justifying where they are at in their relationship right now. I think that she does such a fantastic job in making the reader feel that, and it's so good. She makes the push and pull feel so real, and I feel like that can be very hard to do sometimes. I feel like sometimes I just don't really feel like those things are justified, or they're very like surface level issues, but Aureia and Rain, they've got things going on, and I just think that Carissa is making that deep, intense, you know, so many mixed emotions going on. I think she's just achieving that so well, and it's just making this read so just like juicy and good. I love it so much. Other random things, the Lahore, I think that's how it's pronounced. That whole scene was just wild when they were eating dinner. Gross. And just action-packed and crazy, and that also expanded the world and the history quite a bit. Really enjoyed that. We had a kind of like ball celebration scene, which I am a sucker for in a fantasy romance when we have some type of ball gala situation. So that is all I have to say for now. I'm actually in the middle of a very intense scene, so I need to get back to this book. I feel like I'm gonna finish this probably not today. I've got about 285-ish pages. I mean, I could, but I think I'm gonna finish this either today or tomorrow, which I have such conflicting feelings about. Like, I want to finish it, but I also really want to stretch it out. I don't know. I'm having a really good time though. I feel like that just speaks to how amazing this book is because I'm just not ready. So that is my midway check-in for The Ashes and the Starcursed King. I think I'm gonna sit down and read a bit. I also might go for a walk because it's like 60 degrees out, which is very exciting. I need sunshine, I need vitamin D. So I may go work out a little bit, but I'm definitely gonna sit down and read some more. And I'm very excited. I feel like, you know, kind of now the rest of the book is just gonna be make it or break it for a lot of different things, plot lines, relationships, everything. So I'm so looking forward to reading more of this book. So that is the update for now. Going wonderfully. And I'll talk to you guys, I don't know, I feel like I want to talk to you one more time before the book ends, before I read like those final chapters. So I will either talk to you guys later tonight or tomorrow. Well, besties, we are getting to the end of The Ashes and the Starcursed King. This will be my last check-in before I finish the book. I am excited, nervous, sad, anxiety-ridden, filled with love. Like, I don't even know. I'm feeling every emotion while reading this book, and just thinking about the prospect of finishing it makes me emotional, but I'm just loving this so much. I don't want it to end, but also I literally need to read the ending right now. So hence why I am doing this check-in. I read about 200 pages last night and it was fantastic. Once again, really great character development. Chapters 44 and 45 do deserve to be in the Louvre, I'm pretty sure, so somebody get working on that. They were perfection. Carissa Broadbent is feeding us very well, and I just loved every single second of kind of the story arc that went on in this last section that I read last night. I have a little over 100 pages left, so you just know it's gonna be insane, it's gonna be intense. I'm kind of in the middle of this like battle scene, and it has been so epic. I've really enjoyed watching like the war planning and seeing how every character in this book, what their strengths are and what their abilities are, and kind of how they play a role in kicking some ass. Everyone's a badass in this book. Honestly, everyone is just so fantastic. And I really love the cast of characters that we have been following thus far. That's kind of it. I've just loved it. This whole vlog is just me telling you how much I love this book, but truly, I have no notes. I have no complaints. There is nothing that has hit me even slightly negative. There is no point of this book where I have been disappointed. Literally, I'm just like, yep, good, great, next chapter, wonderful, perfect, congratulations, you are perfection. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about this book. This has truly not only met my expectations, but exceeded them to the highest degree, because I think that the writing is even better in this book than it was in The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which, like, Carissa Broadbent, your power, amazing. That is gonna be my final check-in. I'm gonna finish this beast, and I don't want to, but I also need to, so yeah, I can't believe I'm about to finish my most anticipated read of the year. That's so crazy. But I've had such a good time and I can't wait to see how this ends. I actually don't quite know how it's gonna end. Like, there is some predictability with the fantasy plot, which I don't really mind. I don't think Carissa lays it on thick, but I will say I don't really know how this book is going to end. Like, the finite details, I got nothing, I'll be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing how she not only closes out this duet, but kind of sets the stage for the next duet in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. So much to be discovered, very excited, and yeah, that's really my final, very intelligent final thoughts of this book before I finish it. So I am gonna sit down and finish this, but then we are going on a boat ride later, which I'm very excited for, and then I'll probably read like the last 50 pages of the book after that. So maybe I'll include some B-roll of that if I feel so inclined. But regardless, later tonight, probably very late, I will be giving you guys my final update and outro for The Ashes and the Starcursed King. finished it. I finished this book like 15 minutes ago and oh my God. Okay. This was perfect. This was absolute fantasy romance perfection. It was 5 stars, infinity stars. I cannot believe how much I loved this. Like, I was so nervous about reading this as my most anticipated read of the year, and it exceeded literally every single expectation that I had for it. This book, to me, is a perfect fantasy romance. Fantasy romance, it's my favorite subgenre, genre, whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite. And if somebody asked me, like, point to a book that you think represents the genre at its best, this would be one of those books. This is everything good about the fantasy romance genre. This does everything right. I am just like, this is why I love fantasy romance. This right here, this book. This book just represents absolutely everything that I love about fantasy romance. I cannot speak highly enough about this. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is absolutely fantastic and I'm in love with it and I'm obsessed with it. I love this book so much more than that book and I don't even know how to put that into words. Like, my love for this book is just like astronomical. I don't even know. I just think everything was so well done. The writing is fantastic. Seriously, the writing is so good with the characters, with the plot, dealing with grief, dealing with, you know, trauma, PTSD, dealing with romance, just all these different things I think were written very, very well. I think that the romance in this book, the push and pull, the journey that our characters went on, it was perfectly done. Everything about it was wonderful. Slow burn, so good, so justified, and such a satisfying ending. Araya and Rain are 2 characters that they just mean the world to me. I identified with them at moments, I felt for them, I laughed with them. They're both so jaded, they're both so, like, even in their, you know, darkest moments, they are sarcastic, they have dark humor, they're so wonderfully written. And seeing both their personal growth, their personal journeys throughout the Nightborn duology, and then also kind of just their journey as a couple, I think it was so well done. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm so happy with the way that everything turned out by the end of this book. I also felt like our side characters, no matter how important they were to the plot or not, they felt original, they stood on their own. I'm intrigued by them. I'm excited to see where this series goes. We do know that the House of Shadow is going to be the next duology, so we're going to have the Shadowborn duet. We do know who one of the main characters is going to be for the next duology, and I'm very, very excited about that. But I gotta say, I am so sad to be leaving Araya and Rain's POV. I know that Chris has said that, like, they will still be very involved, we'll still see them, but I would just kill for like 5 more books in their POV. I love them so much. I am so happy to say that my most anticipated read of the year is definitely going to be on my best books of the year as well. Like, you guys, I cannot stress this enough. This was so epic and fantastic and romantic and beautiful and painful and funny, and the spice was amazing, and the, you know, character development, everything, 10 out of 10. I have, as I said earlier, no notes. I have nothing about this book. Not a moment of this book was boring. Not a moment of this book let me down. Not a singular character I walk away from feeling negative or that they weren't done properly. Like, I really can feel how much time and care that Carissa put into this book. And I think, you know, she put so much time and care into all of her books, but this just really feels so special to me. I feel so connected to it. It's impacted me so much, and yeah, this is perfect. Please read it. Oh my God, if you have not read this book yet, babe, what are we doing? You need to read this. Please read this. Fantasy romance perfection. This is it. This is what perfection in the fantasy romance genre looks like. So that is going to be it for the Ashes and the Starcruise King reading vlog. I can't believe it. I'm so incredibly sad to be leaving this world for now. I mean, however, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror literally came out today, and I'll probably be picking that up next week, but I'm just sad to be leaving Araya and Rain and kind of like the main plot line of the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I think it's gonna be about a year until we hear anything about the future duology, But I know that I'll be rereading this duology. Literally, as I was reading this, I was like, I cannot wait to reread this. There would be a cute scene or a great chapter or something, and I'd be like, God, I can't wait to experience that again. So I just feel like that speaks to the strength of this book and just how much it worked for me. But I will also say that book hangover that I mentioned earlier, she's here, she's present. I can't even tell you the emotions I went through while reading this book. Every single emotion you could think of, I felt at one point. It was really such a satisfying reading experience though. I love getting like worked up by books, you know, getting sad, angry, happy, disappointment, like everything, like every single emotion was hit, and I'm basically dead now. So I think that this book did its job. I love it. 5 stars, 3,000 out of 10 recommend. It's one of the best fantasy romances I've ever read. I know I've said that like 10 times, but literally I put this down and I was like, yep, this is fantasy romance to me. This is what the fantasy romance genre is, what it is at its best, and this is why I love it so much. So I'm very sad to be ending this vlog. I had so much fun reading this. It's just so amazing to read what will be one of your favorite books for the first time. And I'm really glad that I vlogged it. I'm really glad that I'm sharing it with you all. So if you made it to this point in the video, number one, thank you so much. I absolutely love doing reading vlogs, and I absolutely love that you guys love seeing these. And it's just so much fun to share my reading experience with you, especially with a book that ends up being so successful. So thank you so much. If you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and leave one of the like phases of the moon emojis, because that's kind of how the parts of the book are separated out, which is really cool. The moon plays a very big part in this series. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Goodreads. They are both always linked down below. I really appreciate that you guys watched this video. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.